part of the program, the official part of the program, will begin with the invocation. But beforehand, there were a couple of things I would like to say. First of all, I would like to welcome all of you here and to say that to me, back in 2018 when we were here, it was really sweet. And it was sweet because we had hope. 2022, I feel like it's sweeter because we have achievements. And that's what's really lovely, is the fact that Juan has shown us that we really elected the right sheriff. Now, I'm supposed to acknowledge people, and I wanted to say beforehand that if I were to acknowledge every single person who is important to Juan and important to this campaign, I would be mentioning all of you, and we don't have time for that. So I am going to acknowledge some honored guests, although you're all honored guests, and I'm going to ask that you reserve applauding until the end. And the reason I say that is because our officials are so popular that if each one got applause, we would be here for 3 hours, and then we would all be upset because we would miss the ceremony. So I'm really asking, please do not applaud until the end. And I'm going to ask, it means you might have to stand for a while, but I would like to ask, as I call your name, to stand up, and then when we're done, I will ask you to applaud. How does that sound? Like a plan? Yeah. Okay. And let me just say, my only job is to know names, so therefore, if I screw up a name, I screwed up the only thing I'm supposed to do. So here we go. So I would like to acknowledge and ask you again to please stand and reserve your applause. Congressman Pat Ryan. Woo! You know, people don't have directions. New York State Senator Michelle Hinchey. New York Supreme Court Justice, newly Supreme Court Justice Sharon Graf. New York State Supreme Court Justice Kevin Bryant. Ulster County Court Judge Brian Rounds. Board of Elections Democratic Commissioner Ashley Dittis. Ulster County Democratic Committee Chair Kelly McKenzie. Josh Riley, our wonderful man came all the way down from Ithaca. Not here, but who I would like to acknowledge of officials. They're not here, they sent their regrets because of illness and other things that came up. Ulster County Controller Marge Gallagher, Ulster County Clerk Nina Pasterpak, Ulster County DA Dave Clegg, New York Assembly-elect Sarah Hannah Shrestha. I also would like to acknowledge the President of the Ulster County Chiefs Association, Scott Schafferich. I would like to acknowledge the Mayor of Newburgh, Torrance Harvey. I would like to acknowledge Rabbi Abe Friedman. I would like to acknowledge also Acting Ulster County Executive Joanne Contreras. And I would like all of the elected officials who are here who I might have missed your name to please stand up. If you're here, and let's give our people a I saw people were like wanting to applaud because everyone's so great. You did great. You did great. So I also want to, before I turn it over to the official program, is I wanted to acknowledge that we lost 2 people this month in December who have been really crucial from 2018 to 2022 in Juan's election, he being a candidate, he being a sheriff. They were really the most committed, humane people, and we've just recently lost them, and I'm asking for a moment of silence for Pam Ross of the Saugerties Democratic Committee and Carolyn Hansen, the chair of the Marbletown Dem Committee. A moment of silence, please. Okay, thank you. And now I would like to officially begin the ceremony with Rabbi Yael Roma of the Congregation Emmanuel of Hudson Valley, who will do the invocation. Rabbi.
As we stand in anticipation of the new year, on this auspicious occasion of our Sheriff Juan Figueroa's swearing-in ceremony, we turn to the source of creation, asking for divine presence and blessings for our leader, Sheriff Juan Figueroa, the office that he guides, trust that he resumes responsibility for the professional team that works with him, and for this, our community. Deuteronomy 16:18 teaches that when our officials are appointed leaders, they are taught that they must govern with justice. In Deuteronomy 16:20, at the swearing in of the leaders, we hear these specific words: Tzedek, Tzedek, Tirdof, justice, justice shall you pursue. We believe that no letter or word in the Bible is without meaning. So we focus on the repetition of the word justice. Tzedek, tzedek. Justice, justice. And it teaches us that justice is fundamental to the health and well-being of our community. Without justice, we cannot succeed. When there is justice, so we build the foundation upon which we thrive. The repetition of the word tzedek, justice, is the reminder that justice is not accomplished through one act alone, but must be continuously pursued, time after time, day after day, week after week, incident after incident. Tzedek reminds us that justice is for all people, those of means and those who are struggling, those with power and ordinary citizens. Justice must be guaranteed for all citizens, regardless of race, gender, religion, or socioeconomic status. Tzedek, tzedek, justice, justice implies that we must pursue justice and actively advocate for justice here and now, not at some future time or aspiration. Justice is and must be part of our daily grind, our daily dream, day after day, breath after breath, incident after incident, commitment after commitment. Tzedek, tzedek, shall you pursue, requires that the means and the end be guided by justice. Tzedek, tzedek is not political. It is sacred. Sheriff Figueroa, we have been inspired by your leadership. You carry yourself with respect and vision and ask the same commitment from your department. May you continue with that respect and vision throughout this term. My sheriff, my friend, each day in the morning when I put on my kippah, I recite the phrase, Da lifnei mi ata omed. Da lifnei mi at omedet. Always know before whom you stand. As you stand here today, about to be sworn in as our sheriff, may you be blessed with safety, strength, courage and resilience, wisdom and success. May you be blessed with humility, patience, kindness, compassion and understanding. May you be a continued blessing, and may you be blessed.
The next treat, and don't see it as a treat, we all know Laura Hartman as an advocate for justice and for getting out the vote and working tirelessly for our democracy. And some of you may even know her as a music producer. But what you might not know is she is an accomplished musician in her own right. I begged Laura to participate in this, and she was reluctant. I begged. And then she said to me, I haven't played since I played for Chick Corea. And I said, we are not Chick Corea. So she has blessed us with saying that she would in fact do America the Beautiful. Laura, please. I would like now for those who are able to please stand and rise for the color guard. And I ask that you remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance, which will be led by our wonderful young woman, Eleanor Martello.
Present colors.
I pledge
pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Order, colors. Mark time, march. Right, turn. Forward, march.
Sit. I want you all to remember the name Eleanor Martello, because maybe 10, 15 years from now, she's going to be standing here, and she's going to be leading us all. She's a star. She's a rock star. So now I would like to, you might have noticed on the program that we do not have any elected officials speaking, except for Juan will speak, of course. And we really struggled with that, and we decided that we've always made our posters, our literature on Juan, and it would always say, our sheriff. Because Juan is really the people's sheriff. He's our sheriff. And we thought what better way to honor him was to have people who, in the community, who have been touched by Juan. And so we have 3 speakers today who will talk briefly about what Juan has been to the community. And the first person up is Tyrone Wilson, who is the founder of Harambe and Ulster County Human Rights Commissioner. Tyrone, all yours.
Well, I'm going to start off by saying, hey, this is the day that the Lord has made, right? This is where we're at. And it was such an honor and privilege to be asked to come forth and speak on behalf of what Juan has meant. And I'm speaking, to the community, yes, but I want to touch specifically on the Black and Brown community, right? Because Juan came in office in 2018, and during that time, we was in heavy communications of developing what community and law enforcement is going to look like. We was in dire need to build that relationship. We was in some dark places. And I remember Juan coming to an event that we had at the church. And he came up and he said, hey, I'm Juan and I'm running for sheriff. And I'm just looking at this guy and I'm like, what are you doing? But I just want to say this, and I think I speak on behalf, of the Black and Brown community here. It's nothing like a person stating what they're going to do and actually fulfilling it. I can't even explain what that feels like, because Juan told us, and when I say us, I'm not here by myself. He came to the community and he told us, he said, I am not going to be sheriff by myself. That was his words. I am not just going to do this by myself. I'm going to hold you, the community, accountable for my time here as sheriff. And I don't think, I'm seeing all the faces here. I think everybody could agree. He kept his word. He held us accountable. And not only that, he allowed us to hold him accountable. And that was something that was needed in the partnership that we needed to have as a sheriff and community base. So what we see today in 2020 and starting in 2018 to the present is we're not perfect, we're not all the way there, but I'm gonna tell you this, we are so much in a better place than what we were just in 2017. And that means a lot to the community. We here today, we're giving so much support to our law enforcement that I've been here 18 years and I have never seen it. So all these officers, we have relationships with, we talk to them, we're having conversations, they coming to us. And one of the things I want to say, and I just want to take a specific moment, where Juan, you know, even today, I'm just gonna say, every time I'm around this man, he got me working, so just whatever. But I'm gonna take a specific moment, right? Juan dedicated a lot of energy into diversifying the sheriff department. And those of you who know Juan, those of you who spent time at the sheriff office there, you can see it. If you don't believe what he said, you can go there and you can just see it, right? So actions is everything. Juan had some recruits that was in the academy. I get a phone call from Juan, and he says, hey, Tyrone, I need you. I need you to come down here, and I need you to have a conversation with some of these recruits. So I'm shell-shocked because that's not something that we used to do, right? So I get down here to the Strand, and I meet a recruit. And my job and what Juan asked me to do was to tell this recruit how important it is that this recruit is able to stand here right now and be able to walk in that sheriff's department, right? To be able to put a badge on their chest. This is a recruit of color. And be able to put a badge on his chest and explain to this recruit all the blood, sweat, and tears that people prior to this recruit has laid in that type of work for this recruit to be able to walk in there. So the recruit had a responsibility to understand that, hey, you're not just in here for you, walking in this building and putting a badge on for you. There's a lot of people who laid a lot of blood, sweat, and tears online for you to be in this space. So this is the type of sheriff that we're dealing with. This is the type of sheriff that we have. This is a win-win for Ulster County. And I'm gonna say this again. We are so lucky to have a sheriff like Juan Figueroa here in Ulster County who is willing to be the people's sheriff. And I thank you for that, Juan Figueroa.
Next, who's coming up is someone who works in the community all over, but she particularly works tirelessly with the immigration population here and has seen many changes, and we are lucky that Ilana Nicholson will come and tell us about Juan and what she does.
Hi, everyone. So if you had, way back in the day, told the president of the Forest Hills High School Human Relations Club, or the proud SDS chapter member at City College, that she would ever care about who the sheriff of Ulster County was, I promise you, I would have looked at you like you were crazy. But I know now that for all the sterling politics I had, that was also a nice middle-class white girl talking. And now that I guess I have the hair to match the skin, I've learned better. I'm going to tell you one story. There are lots of them, but I'm going to tell you one story that I think says it all. It's a story that a few of you have heard and Juan has heard, but it's a true story. And it's an important one. Because there are some people, this is a wonderful community gathering that we're looking at here, but there are some folks who are not here. Because even in Juan's Ulster County, and Pat, and Jen, and all of our Ulster County, it's not easy if you're a person who is undocumented to walk into a stately courthouse and into a room that's filled with people with all kinds of fancy, intimidating uniforms on. Well, some of our undocumented immigrant friends and neighbors stand on Broadway every morning, some of you may know this, hoping that someone will come by and hire them for a day's work, probably in construction, maybe in agriculture, hoping they'll be lucky enough to get a job for one day so they can feed their families. So one day, some of those lucky folks were in a truck on the way to work, and the truck broke down. And the sheriff's department arrived. Now think about it. What would happen to those folks in too many parts of the United States? And frankly, what might have happened to those folks when Juan's predecessor was the sheriff? You know what happened to those folks with Juan's Sheriff's Department standing by? Well, that broken down pickup truck wasn't going anyplace anytime soon. And so the Sheriff's Department drove them to work. Juan, I am proud to call you friend, but I am even prouder to call you sheriff.
Now, the next person up is someone who is a person from Plattekill like Juan, and she actually is a retired New York police officer, so she knows what the job is. And she's also a long, long friend and supporter of Juan, and Juan knew that he needed to have her be here. And I'm going to say it's Gladys Figueroa, who is not related to Juan. Gladys, please.
I have to say, Tyrone, he always has you doing something. Okay. Let me put my glasses. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Gladys Figueroa, and I'm not married or related to the sheriff. I am honored to be here for my favorite Boricua, Juan Figueroa. Boricua, for those that don't know, is another term for Puerto Rican. I met Juan while he was running the Plattekill Latino Heritage Association, which, by the way, I am currently the president of. We have since become great friends. Besides the Latino organization, he is responsible for a slew of things / situations, including running for office that I signed up for. You can do this, he would say, often. Anyway, it's all been very interesting. I have learned so much and met many wonderful people. Whenever it wasn't pretty, I would say to him, this is your fault. Juan is a man of integrity, a family man who is loved and admired by many, including myself. We often joke that he is a rock star. He has love and compassion for everyone that comes in his path. He always goes that extra step for others. That was very evident during this last campaign where he campaigned tirelessly with his fellow candidates. Juan has lived in Plattekill for most of his life. Besides running the Latino organization, he has always been a good neighbor and asset for our community. He has been of service to our nation, our state, and lastly, to our county. We are so fortunate to call him our sheriff for 4 more years. My friend, my brother, I am so proud of you.
She's really his sister, she just sits. We're now going to come to the part of the swearing in the oath of office, and I would like to say that Juan, as you all know, was a Marine, but they say once a Marine, always a Marine. And it was really important to Juan that he get sworn in by a fellow Marine who he worked with. So I would like to now present U.S. Marine retired, he made sure I should say retired, Master Sergeant Michael Juan to give the oath of office. Michael?
I, Juan J. Figueroa,
I, Juan J. Figueroa,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
and support the Constitution of the State of New York.
and I will support the Constitution of the State of New York.
I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of
I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of
Sheriff of Ulster County
Sheriff of Ulster County,
according to thy ability.
according to the best of my ability. So help me God.
I don't know if I can say that.
Now, the man of the hour will speak to us and grace us before we conclude. We will have Juan speak. There will be one more swearing in and then a benediction. But at this point, the man of the hour.
Thank you all so much for being here. A lot of good faces and friends. I look around and there's so many to acknowledge, but I do want to acknowledge some special folks that are here today. And yes, please applaud. Congressman Pat Ryan. Senator Hinckley. Ted Metzger. The chairwoman of our legislature, Tracy Martellus. Vice Chair, Steve Walker. Chairman Gonzalez, who I saw out there somewhere. And a former boss of mine who made it all the way from New Jersey, and you think I didn't saw him, but I did, when I was in the corporate world, Mr. Greg Donatello. Thank you so much. Last time I was here swearing in, it was my high school teacher that swore me in. And I did that because my mom and dad had passed away years before, and I wanted someone that had an impact in my life. And so this time around, I wanted to bring a Marine who I was proud to serve with for so many years. And I know it was a pain, it's tough to work with someone like me. But I am honored to have you here, Michael Jordan, who, by the way, is from Sorbies. We served many years together in deployments to a lot of places, so thank you, and God bless you, and thank you for coming here today. I want to thank God, my family, my brother Robert, my sister Vivian, my brother Kenny, my cousins, and so many people that led me here to this position in 2018 and again today for another 4 years. But I gotta thank my campaign team, because I gotta tell you, they're a tough group to work with. My campaign manager, Kristen Dinsmore, I love you very much. Please stand up when I call you. Lynn Sakai. Shelly Ashcroft. Carol and Tom Nolan. Eric Fitzpatrick, Frank Ron, and Amy Freeman. So I did write a few words last night, but I always jump off script because I have to. Thank you, Vice Chair of the Law Enforcement Committee, Gina Hansen. Thank you for being here. Anybody else today? Last time I was here, when I was sworn in 2018, I had a pair of trousers that I had to put safety pins on, a shirt that didn't fit, and I didn't even have a dress uniform. I tell you this because I was reading a gift that was given to me by Dan Torres that's sitting in my office, and it was the article that was put out in the Daily Freeman on the 8th of November of 2018. I never knew what was on the horizon and what happened the next 4 years. But I know I couldn't do it with some people that are here today. those folks are the chiefs of Ulster County, Chief Berardi, Chief Shafford, Chief Lucchese, and everything that we went through the last 4 years. And these other folks are really special to me. They're my team. My Undersheriff, Eric Benjamin, my confidential assistant, Kerry Muldoon, and my staff, the men and women at the Sheriff's Office. Captain Vinny Antieri, please stand when I call your name. Wally Colbert. Juan and my correction staff. Team too. I want you to stand up for a second because I think it's important for people to understand that change is not easy. In order to embrace change, it's got to be a team concept. And these men and women did that. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart for everything that you've done for the people of Ulster County. Thank you. My civil staff, my civilian staff either, because without them we couldn't do our day-to-day work. And the chief of our civil division is here, Jared Blades. Please stand up. I couldn't do my work without the county executive, the county legislature, and the people who work at the county office building. You all know who you are. The last 4 years have been trying for all of us. And when I spoke about that horizon, I spoke about the new laws that were put in our, in our road, in our pathway. Some of them were needed. The pandemic, the special elections, and so many other things that we had to do the last 4 years that I don't think anybody thought was going to happen in 2018. Our first responders, our emergency management people, Everett back there, or deputy county executives like Chris Kelly. You guys make this place work, and I'm very aware of what you do for all of us in this county. You're the unsung heroes, and I wanted to make sure that I recognize you as well as our partners, whether you run the Ellenville Hospital, like Mr. Kelly back there, or Samadhi, or any other groups that we work with, or community organizations. That article that I spoke about a minute ago spoke about the importance of what I was going to do when I took office. I said I would tirelessly work to tackle the opioid epidemic, and even though we're still fighting that epidemic, we were able to get 2 grants totaling $2.3 million and embedded social workers and peer advocates, not just for the Sheriff's Office, but for every law enforcement agency in the county, who also jumped in and participated, and their leadership can't be understated, and that's the chiefs that are in the back. I said I would foster mutual respect between law enforcement and our community by having regular interactions, not just me, but my staff, with the public, with the community, with faith-based organizations. And we started a new outreach that we all knew was needed here in Ulster County. The elements was already in the Sheriff's Office. These are amazing men and women, and I'm proud to lead them. But I know it's a two-way street. But they are truly amazing. But what's more amazing are the people who elected me to serve them again for a second term, and I can't thank all of them enough. God bless you and thank you. So please, a hand of applause to the voters of Ulster County. I can't even keep up with the changes. I got 2 pages of them, but I'm not going to go through them. But there were so many changes that we went through, but we couldn't have done it without a team effort. Every single one of you here were part of that team. Elections do matter. And the people, in this case, have spoken. God bless the people, and God bless our great nation, and God bless all of you. And I look forward to serving you for 4 more years, because this chair still belongs to all of you. God bless you, and thank you.
We have 2 more things to go. Sheriff Juan Figueroa is about to give the oath of office to his undersheriff, Eric Benjamin. Juan?
I have to say a couple of words about the undersheriff, who is the disciplinarian of the office. That's his role. He's got to be the bad guy now. And he also took a lot of heat from me and allowed me to do my job. A lot of people don't realize what his role and his job truly is. And it's a difficult job, but I couldn't have picked a better undersheriff the last 4 years and the next 4 years. And I thank him for his service. I think he's got over 30, well, Vinny's got like 37 years, 38 years, Captain. And I think the under is right behind him. Ladies and gentlemen, Undersheriff Eric Benjamin. Repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Eric Benjamin,
Do solemnly swear
solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the office of Undersheriff of Ulster County
of the office of Undersheriff of Ulster County
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my abilities.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Never before January 6th did I realize how important that part was to defend the Constitution. And we're so lucky, really, that we have people who are now really defending the Constitution. At the close of the benediction, which will happen, that will be the conclusion of the formal ceremony. We invite you all to go to the rough draft where we can mingle. We're treating everyone to a drink if you want, and we'll mingle and just enjoy and celebrate each other, especially our sheriff. But before we end, we will have the Reverend Pastor Mary Bruce will say the benediction. Pastor Bruce is from the AME Zion Church in Kingston, and when she concludes the benediction, the service is officially over, and we will go to rough draft. So this is the last you'll see of me.
Praise the Lord. God has spoken, and I believe each of us can celebrate in this truly victory that God has spoken and blessed us uniquely. So we call the Holy Spirit to shine afresh and renew and restore us and bless us, each of us, because we one unit, and we're going to praise and worship and support our shared bigger world. In the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Ghost, we just give great thanks and honor to him for all that he has done and all that he will do continually. To God be the glory. Amen. Amen.
Sheriff Figueroa.
Happy New Year, and God bless you. Thank you all for coming out today. I love you all. Thank you.